The fluoride in your toothpaste is not made in a pharmaceutical lab. It's a byproduct of fertilizer manufacturing, captured from toxic gas that once destroyed 25,000 acres of Florida citrus groves and killed entire cattle herds. Today, it's shipped to your city's water treatment plant. Over 200 million Americans drink water with this chemical added. The CDC calls it a top 10 public health achievement, but 98% of Western Europe refuses to put it in their water. So how does fertilizer waste become dental medicine? Why does most of the developed world reject it? And what can you check on your own tap water tonight? The story starts in 1901. A young dentist named Frederick Mackay moved to Colorado Springs to open his first practice. What he found horrified him. Nearly 90% of children born there had teeth stained dark brown. Some looked like they were coated in chocolate. Locals called it the Colorado brown stain. Nobody could explain it. Mackay spent 30 years searching for the cause. He traveled across the West, carefully mapping cases, writing letters, begging researchers to help. In 1930, a chemist at the Aluminum Company of America finally cracked it. The water in affected towns contained high levels of fluoride, a mineral found naturally in rock and soil. But here's the twist. Mackay had noticed something else during those decades. The brown-stained teeth were ugly, but they almost never had cavities. That observation reached Dr. H. Trendley Dean at the National Institutes of Health. Dean's team discovered that fluoride below 1.0 parts per million didn't stain teeth, but still protected against decay. In 1945, Grand Rapids, Michigan, became the first city on Earth to add fluoride to its water supply. Researchers tracked 30,000 school children over 15 years. Tooth decay dropped more than 60%. Here's the thing nobody tells you. The fluoride added to most American water supplies is not the same mineral found in nature. It's an industrial chemical called hexafluorosilicic acid, and its origin starts underground. Phosphate rock, the raw material for agricultural fertilizer, naturally contains 3 to 4% fluoride. When that rock is crushed and mixed with sulfuric acid to extract phosphoric acid, the reaction releases two toxic gases: hydrogen fluoride and silicon tetrafluoride. Both are corrosive enough to dissolve glass. In the 1960s and 70s, regulators forced fertilizer plants to install wet scrubbers. These are giant towers that spray water upward to capture the rising fumes. The toxic gas hits the water. The water absorbs it. What collects at the bottom is a pale, corrosive liquid, hexafluorosilicic acid, classified as hazardous waste. But instead of disposing of it, manufacturers found a buyer. Tanker trucks carry it from phosphate plants in Florida, Louisiana, and North Carolina to municipal water systems across the country. The U.S. produces roughly 29 million kilograms of this acid per year. Almost all of it goes to water treatment. At your city's plant, workers dilute the acid to a precise concentration: 0.7 milligrams per liter. That's roughly 3 drops in a 55-gallon barrel. Once in water, the acid breaks apart almost completely. 99% of it separates into simple fluoride ions and harmless silica. Those fluoride ions are what reach your teeth. Here's how they work. Your enamel is 96% calcium hydroxyapatite, a crystal structure made of calcium, phosphate, and hydroxide ions. When bacteria in your mouth feed on sugar, they produce acid. That acid dissolves your enamel by pulling calcium and phosphate out of the crystal. Fluoride reverses this. When fluoride ions are present in your saliva, they slip into the damaged crystal and replace the hydroxide ions. The result is fluorapatite, a tighter, denser mineral that resists acid at a pH of 4.5. A full point lower than regular enamel can survive. Your teeth don't just heal, they upgrade, and fluoride speeds up this repair process, pulling calcium and phosphate ions back into the crystal faster than your saliva alone could manage. But the dose makes the poison. Too much fluoride causes fluorosis, the same brown-staining McKay discovered in Colorado over a century ago. Mild cases leave faint white spots on children's teeth. Severe cases pit and discolor enamel permanently. Children under 6 are most at risk because their adult teeth are still forming beneath the gums. A child who swallows fluoride toothpaste, drinks fluoridated water, and takes fluoride supplements could exceed safe limits before you notice. The recommended daily maximum for a child weighing 20 kilograms is just 1 milligram. A single pea-sized drop of toothpaste contains about 0.25 milligrams. 4 swallowed brushings could hit that ceiling. Here's where the story flips. The CDC ranks water fluoridation alongside vaccines as a defining public health victory. But 98% of Western Europe disagrees. Austria, Belgium, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, the Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, none fluoridate. Only 5% of the world's population drinks artificially fluoridated water. More people drink it in the US alone than in every other country combined. And tooth decay in those European countries. It's declined at roughly the same rate as in the US over the past 50 years. So what can you actually check on your own water tonight? First, check your water. Every U.S. utility publishes an annual Consumer Confidence Report. Search your city name plus Water Quality Report. Look for the fluoride line. The target is 0.7 milligrams per liter. If you're on well water, natural levels vary and can sometimes run too high. Second, check your toothpaste. Standard fluoride toothpaste runs 1,000 to 1,500 parts per million. Safe for adults. For children under 6, use a rice grain amount before age 3. Pea-sized after. Teach them to spit, not swallow. Third, count your sources. Fluoridated tap water plus fluoride toothpaste plus fluoride mouthwash. 3 directions. Fine for adults. But if you have small children, stacking all 3 may push their intake too high. Ask your pediatric dentist whether to adjust. 1 ingredient, 3 delivery systems. The question is whether the choice should belong to you. Next time you squeeze that stripe onto your toothbrush, you'll know where it actually came from. Phosphate rock, sulfuric acid, and a pollution scrubber in Florida. That's the process. We reveal how things actually work, one story at a time. If there's something you'd like us to explore next, let us know. Until then, trust the process.